In this video, I'm going to discuss how you can go about starting your recruiting agency and ultimately scaling it to 6 figures. Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Natasha, the business recruiter. Welcome back to my channel. So when it comes to you actually being able to start a recruiting agency and ultimately scaling it, there's probably a couple questions that you have in mind. Ultimately, you're probably thinking through what are those things that you need to do in order to hit a certain threshold. And number one, in terms of how you can think about what are some of those avenues that are associated with you being able to scale your recruiting agency, is to actually have a goal in mind, meaning have some form of a North Star. When you say you want to have a 6-figure recruiting agency, what does that mean? Does that mean that you want to make 6 figures a year? Or are you talking about making 6 figures a month? And both of those goals, while great, definitely are going to require different things from you as well as different levels of your business. If you're a one-man or woman show, it may require you thinking about scaling your business to a point where you actually have a team underneath you, whether that's you leveraging virtual assistants or actually hiring on employees. Ultimately, it's important for you to understand exactly what your goal is in terms of your revenue that you want to bring in for your business. And when it comes to revenue, then how much do you actually want to be able to make? So what is your profit? You want to understand that because ultimately it's going to help you to determine how hard you need to work in terms of your recruiting agency in order to be able to hit the goal that you set for yourself. You might want to ask yourself questions like, how many roles do you need to take on within a given month or within a given year in order to be able to hit your goal? How many hours do you ultimately want to work? And how can you back into that in terms of how many roles you are taking on? You may also want to ask yourself, what's the investment that you're willing to put into your business and how much money do you want to continue to put into your business once you are generating some form of consistent revenue? All of these questions are going to be extremely important in order for you to understand how you can continue to back into your North Star. Now, number two, in terms of how you can think about scaling your recruiting agency, is to think about who are those clients that you're working with and making sure that you're working with intentional clients. And by intentional clients, I mean clients who are experiencing some form of growth and or scaling, or even clients who have peak hiring seasons. Ultimately, these clients are going to have a significant amount of hiring that they need to do, and this is where you can come in and provide value. This ultimately allows you the opportunity to take on multiple requisitions for your one client, which increases your opportunity to be able to bring in additional revenue. So if you're being intentional and really thinking through who are those clients that you are taking on or working with and what's the level of work and or level of hiring that they need to do, it's ultimately going to help you in terms of setting yourself up for success. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, then be sure to go down below, hit that subscribe button as well as that bell so that you can get notified of all of my videos that do drop weekly. The next thing that I want you to think about is how you can offer something different than the competition, meaning there are hundreds, if not thousands, of recruiting agency and staffing agencies that are out there. What are you going to do to set yourself apart? And what are you going to do in order to make yourself stand out from the competition? And this could be big things or it could also be little things. So it's really going to be contingent on you. But what is something different that you can really add in order to be able to continue to increase the amount of revenue or increase the amount of clients that you're taking on, which ultimately then increases your amount of revenue? Maybe it's you creating some type of industry outlook for a particular industry that you're looking to get clients within and sharing that information with potential clients in a way that is value add, meaning that you're putting yourself out there to show that this is what you can bring to the table, as well as also establishing yourself as an expert in the field. Ultimately, that industry outlook may be the difference between them choosing to work with you or another recruiting agency. So it's important that you think of what are some of those unique ways or unique things that you can do in order to help yourself to stand out. Ideally, if you're a recruiting or staffing agency owner, you're going to want to make sure that you're up on all of the trends associated with a particular industry that you're working within anyways. So think of this as not additional work, but work that you're already going to need to do in order to be successful in terms of your business. So with this idea of creating an industry outlook, you're ultimately just presenting information that you already looked up. Again, I don't believe in you actually doing extra work if you don't have to. And this is one of those ways where you can really set yourself as well as your client up for success by doing work that you will already be doing anyways. Now, ultimately, there's a lot of things for you to keep in mind when you're thinking through starting your staffing agency or recruiting agency, as well as how you go about scaling it. And it's important to note that there is no one right way for you to go about doing it. It's ultimately going to be based on you and what you feel is most comfortable for your recruiting and staffing agency. But I do encourage you to think of what those unique ways are that you can ultimately stand out and at the end of the day, bring value to your clients. Well, I hope that you found this video to be helpful. If you did, then be sure to give me a thumbs up, as well as if you're not in my Facebook group, then I highly encourage that you join. We are in there talking all things recruiting. I'll be sure to leave that link down below in the description box for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.